Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I'm a 5th year 3rd grade teacher in North Carolina. And I have a fun summer project for y'all today. If you are able to go back into the classroom, or maybe this is something you can even just use in the future. I don't know what next year is going to look like for me just yet, but I did have the motivation to prep these the other day, so I just wanted to share that process with y'all. And what I'm talking about is what I did with the Target Dollar Spot erasers. So this pack has pizza and fries in it. Some packs have 2 different erasers, some packs have 3, some packs might have more, but I have gone ahead and taken some of the Dollar Spot eraser packs that are only $1, and I purchased these little containers from Dollar Tree that come in 10 to a pack for $1. They come in the little rectangles or the little circles. They are the SureFresh brand, and you can usually find them on one of those hanging things like in the center of the aisle or on an end cap. I went ahead and I vinyled student numbers on them, and inside is just one type of eraser. So here are all the rocket ships falling all over my floor now, just inside of this pack. And then I have another one with the rainbows. So each little container will be for each student to have their own pieces. And what I plan to use these for is still give my kids my math centers, but now they'll have their own personal pieces to use to keep that social distancing in mind. Now, I don't know if they'll be able to work in partners. I don't know what the school year is going to look like, okay? However, I do know that even if they can't work alone, I still want them to be able to use manipulatives. So I may be printing all of my center board games again, and just in black and white copies, so each kid could have their own, and then they have their own pieces to somehow play the game, and it'll be okay. We're gonna make it work. So that's what I plan to use these for, and I thought it was a really cheap thing to put together that can be used for many different things for years to come. If you don't have a Cricut, you can always buy like scrapbooking letters from Michael's or Hobby Lobby and just put those right on there because it's essentially a sticker. So if you want to see how I put this together, just keep on watching. Please ignore the cord mess underneath, but it's all safe, I promise. I brought my MacBook in here. My Cricut, I have to pull it out to use it, and also the Cricut uses a USB, so I need my little adapter. This adapter, actually everything on my desk here, like my printer, the adapter, my MacBook case, and my Cricut are all linked in my Amazon store. Those 2 are in technology and those 2 are in office, I believe. So if you're interested in those, the link is always down below. But first I'm going to show you what fonts I have on my computer. So let's get started. The fonts that I download for free on Teachers Pay Teachers are all of the KG fonts and Jen Jones Hello fonts. These are for personal use, so you cannot sell these, but you can use them on your own projects. So I download them and then I can open up my files as you see here. Make sure they are unzipped, and to unzip a file, you literally just click on it. And then here I'm just showing you the Amy Grosbeck fonts. I originally purchased these when her bundle began, so it was like $12 then. Since she has added many fonts, so she does not have a free version, but these are fonts that I'm able to use in my products and sell, which is nice. So those are just the other fonts that I also have the option of using. So once you've downloaded them, you want to find your font book, and this is for a MacBook, and then all you have to do is hit that plus sign, and then I'm going to go to my downloads, and click on the folder, and all of the fonts open up. And as you can see, these are my user fonts, which are all the ones that I have personally downloaded. All right, the other thing I wanted to show you was wordmark.it, and this is a really cool website where you can type in whatever you are trying to find a font for, and then all of the fonts on your computer come up so you can see the example for every single font on your computer, so you don't have to change it a bunch of times. This can get overwhelming, but it's awesome. Okay, so I have my Cricut Design Space pulled up on my computer, and very simply I just hit a text box. Down here the text box comes up. So I type a 1 and then it creates it, and I'm going to drag this to the top, and my font was already selected, but to get whatever font you want, make sure you click on font and go to system, and when you go to system, that's when you'll find your fonts. So then you can just type in the font that you would like it to be. I really like Miss Kindergarten, KG Miss Kindergarten. However, since it is a label, I want to do the thicker version, which is the marker, Miss Kindy Marker. So that's the font I'll be using. Now I'm gonna take a look at my actual Cricut workspace to get my sizing correct. Here are the little containers that I plan on using. They are the Shore Fresh brand from Dollar Tree, and they're usually hanging on one of those little hanger things that's in the middle of the aisle or on an end cap. They come in a bag of 10, and you can get the rectangular ones or you can get the circle ones, but I went for the rectangular ones for this. I have my Cricut mat underneath, and I'm going to take one of these out and see how it compares to the grid lines, because the grid lines on here match up with the grid lines on here, and that's how I'm going to know what size I need to make for my number. Okay, so placing this on the grid, I would say I need to keep it within the four squares, and then I would be good. So now I can go ahead and make all of my numbers. Once I make one and I like the size of it, then I'm just going to copy and paste it and go all the way up to 20. So I actually decided to make my largest number and then base the rest off of that, because I need this one to fit. So I'm going to do number 20, and then I'm going to line it up with the center. I'm just doing it down here because this covers it when I do it up here. And that fits in the 4 squares. It leaves space on the side and the top, which is perfect. So I think that is going to be my size. So since I knew what my size was going to be, I changed it back to a 1, and I literally just started copying and pasting. And it doesn't really matter where you throw these, because I'll show you in a moment that when I go to create it, they'll all get mixed up again anyway. So I'm just placing the numbers, doing 1 through 20, again just copying and pasting and separating them a little bit just so it's easier to see them. So I'm going to pull my Cricut out. You're supposed to have 10 inches behind it, and I'm going to open it and turn it on and pull up the cord that I need. So since this is a USB, I need to plug it into my adapter over here, and in this moment and this moment only, I wish I had a USB-C on this side. I'll have to plug it in on that side, and then I'll show you what comes next. This is a permanent adhesive vinyl. I got it off Amazon. I just wanted a black. I know it says permanent. I don't know how permanent it is. I haven't tried to pull it off anything. It was, I mean, I didn't really care that much. I really wish it wasn't glossy, but that's okay. It's what I have, so I'm going to use it. Okay, I'm going to press Make It on my computer, and then it moves everything around so that it takes up the least amount of space, but that honestly stresses me out with how close it is, and I hate it. So I'm going to take the time right now to put these numbers in order, just because that would be easier for my brain, and spread them out a little bit more. And this is why I didn't worry about how they were laid out when I was copying and pasting them, because I knew that this would happen. All right, then I click continue. So I love how on the screen it shows that my material is set to paper, because that's the last time I used it. I need to change it to vinyl, and I always put it on the highest setting for vinyl just in case, because I do want it to cut through. And you'll see that this is blinking. So I'm going to put this in and hold down this button. Now it has collected it, and I can press go, which is the little Cricut icon. All right, and then I'm going to take it out. You can sort of see the cutouts there. So now I'm going to move this out of the way and show you what comes next. Okay, so I should have done this before I set this up, but I do need to cut this because I don't need the entire thing. Okay, so now I can peel all the extra, and then I can usually get the little circles with my finger, try to pull from within to not mess up the actual thing. There is a little tool for this, but you know, we like to do things as cheap as possible. Okay, now we're ready for the transfer tape. So the transfer tape I have, I'm pretty sure I just looked for a cheap deal on Amazon. I mean, I'll link this in my store, but I don't even think I've used it before. Maybe I have. Yes, I actually have used this, I remember. Very easy to store it. So I'm going to measure out how much I need. I would say down to the line that comes after the 4. Okay, so I'm gonna cut 9 down. Okay, so now I'm just trying to peel it, and then I'm going to stick it on top of the numbers. Perfect. And you know what I'm realizing? I always mess this up. I should have peeled this off first. I always mess that up. And then things like this happen, and it's so annoying. So I'm gonna cut this again so that I can save this vinyl. And then I am also going to go ahead and cut all my numbers. Before every time I peel it off, I'm just going to put a lot of pressure, make sure it's stuck on there, and then peel, and it should come right up with it. And then I'm going to, luckily there's a little dot in the center, so I'm going to use that to help me. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to push it down. And then you peel it off, and there you go. It's labeled. And if you don't trust it, you can push a little bit more, just like that. I am now finished with all of them, and I have my erasers. Shout out to Lauren from putting them first. I'm catching up on her video, and I'm going to go ahead and start filling some of them up with erasers. My class size cap is 22. However, the containers come in sets of 10, so I just bought 20 because I do have more in my classroom. So in case I do need 2 more, I will just make those later. With everything going on and the option of online school in North Carolina, I feel like our class sizes are going to be much smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and separate the erasers out. And like I said previously, I'm going to put the ones that are the same in one set because I want every child to have different pieces so they know what style is theirs. All right, so with the eraser packs that I bought 3 of them from Target. I was able to fill 7 containers because I was just trying to keep the different erasers separate. So we have astronauts, rocket ships, those are so cool, rainbows, unicorns, basketballs, soccer balls, and footballs. And these 3 have a lot less because it was a pack of 3. I'm going to head to Target and see if I can find more packs of 3 because they don't need this many game pieces. And I would normally split that up, but like I said, I want all of the kids to have a specific eraser. That way they don't touch their friends if they are able to play a center game together. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope that was motivational, inspirational, helpful, maybe gave you some type of idea to implement in your classroom, whatever your year may look like. I'm hoping that it's a safe, productive year for everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.